Now I'm going to walk you guys through some basic core exercises that are going to take into account all those fundamental moves that we learned in the beginning, such as our diaphragmatic breathing and our transverse abdominal breathing. This is a great way to get a good core workout while pregnant and keeping baby safe. Just remember, if you see any doning or coning, come out of that move and restart. If you still continue to see that, I'd go ahead and stop that move and move on to something else. Now remember, when you're going to your back, you want to start off on your side and then roll yourself safely to your back. Again, this is going to help prevent putting extra pressure on that core and your belly. Okay, for our first move, we're going to be doing marches. So we're going to lay nice and flat, knees are bent, and we are going to be performing a diaphragmatic breath. It is going to be an active core breath, so we're going to keep it all nice and tight, and we're going to breathe through our chest as we perform the exercise. So for this move, I like to do 5 on one side, reset, and then do 5 on the other, reset, and then do another 5 and 5. So 10 each side, but I like to reset to make sure that that core is nice and engaged and I feel good throughout the move. So we're gonna start with our diaphragmatic breath and our deep core activation, so that transverse abdominal breath. So we're gonna go ahead and inhale. So we have that nice diaphragmatic breath, and again, we're breathing through our chest, everything's nice and tight. When you lift that leg up, you're going to, again, squeeze even tighter, and inhale on the down, okay? So we want to be getting tighter and tighter with each lift. Your legs should not feel heavy. If you're starting to feel heavy, and then that's showing you that your work is actually in your abductors instead of that deep core, which is what we want. So just keep that in mind. And again, reset as many times as you need to make sure that you have that breath nice and tight. So we're gonna go ahead back into that. Again, breathing through our chest. We're gonna lift that leg. And you're getting tighter, wrapping tighter with each lift. Good job. For marching, you're gonna go ahead, have your legs bent, backs to the mat, nice and relaxed. If you need to, you can put a towel or pillow under your neck if you're feeling a lot of pressure. All right, so while we're in this move, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a diaphragmatic breath and a transverse abdominal breath. So we're gonna start with a nice inhale. And then we're wrapped. We're nice and tight. We have an active core breath. While that's nice and tight, we're breathing through our chest. As we lift our leg, we are going to exhale. So on the inhale, we're down, and on the exhale, we bring that up. With each lift, you want to wrap tighter and tighter and tighter. So what I like to do for this move is I like to do 5 on one side, relax, reset, and do 5 on the other side, and then go back and forth. So I like to do 10 total each side, but I like to break it up to make sure that I have a really good deep core activation as I'm doing the move. Again, this is a core exercise. If your leg starts to feel heavy, then that means you're using those hip flexors and not your deep core muscles. So again, reset, make sure everything's nice and tight. That leg should almost feel super light, super flawless here. So, okay. Wrapping tighter. Good job. For our next exercise, we're gonna do a dead bug. Again, just like our first exercise, we are going to take that diaphragmatic breath and then that active core activation where everything's nice and tight. We're breathing through our chest through the move. And again, trying to wrap tighter and tighter with each exhale. So we're gonna go ahead and take that breath. After we get in that breath, we're gonna go into a tabletop position, okay? So we're gonna start here and we're gonna do our diaphragmatic breath and then followed by activating our core and breathing through our chest. So here we go with that. Wrap nice and tight. Again, breathing through our chest. We're gonna come in tabletop position. Hands are actually gonna go on our knees here. And when we take that exhale, You're gonna push against those legs. Again, wrapping tighter with each exhale. Again, if you start to feel some shake in that core, that means they're working really hard. That means you've really gotten into that active core, and that's where we wanna be. Again, you can do 5 reps and reset, or do all 10, whatever feels right for you. Listen to your body, listen to your baby, and don't feel like you have to speed through this. For our next move, we're gonna do sliders. This is a basic core exercise. If you are more advanced, if you feel like you've mastered this, then you could go onto a glute bridge with a slide. But again, that's gonna be way more advanced. So I want you guys to start here, get a good foundation, and this is gonna be great for your core. So again, we are going to go into that deep core activation, chest breath. And as we slide our leg out, we're gonna inhale. And then when we lift it back up, it's gonna be on the exhale. We're lifting on the exhale, but we're also wrapping tighter each time, okay? So I know I'm beating that into you guys, but it's very important to make sure that we are doing these moves correctly. So again, we're gonna take our deep core breath here. Okay, chest breath. And as we inhale, getting tighter. Again, you can reset. Again, with this move, I like to do 5, kind of reset 5. If you're in really deep and you feel like you can keep going, feel free to do more reps. That's totally fine. Again, listen to your body and do what works for you. But make sure that you're doing both sides evenly. And again, keeping that active core breath, breathing through the chest, and lowering that leg on the inhale, and on the exhale, driving that leg back up, as well as wrapping those transverse abdominals. For our next move, we're gonna do flower petals. We're in that same position. Again, we're gonna take that diaphragmatic breath and then that deep core activation, breathing through our chest. As we bring our leg to the side, we are going to inhale. And then on the exhale, we're gonna lift that leg back up. And as we lift, we're wrapping deeper and deeper, okay? So we're gonna be here. We're gonna go ahead and take that diaphragmatic breath. And then that deep core activation. Okay, breathing through our chest. On the inhale, lower that leg. Again. Okay, so in this workout, I want you to make sure that your glute stays as firm to the mat as possible. You don't want it lifting when you're coming up and lowering that down. You want it to stay nice and close to the mat. Don't get so caught up in how far that leg lowers. My range of motion may be different than yours. So if you feel any sort of lifting when you're lowering, just don't go as low. So even if you're just here, just take it here. Okay, so again, on that lift, you're wrapping that TVA even tighter. Okay, so one more time. Good job. Again, we want to make sure we do both sides. You can split it up into 5 and 5 and repeat, or you can do all 10 one side, 10 the other. Again, whatever works for you. Now keep in mind, if you have any lower back pain, or you start to feel a pinch, or you get dizzy or lightheaded, then you definitely want to move from off of your back. That's just showing there's just too much pressure there, which can happen. And anytime that happens, you just want to go ahead and come out of that move. You want to keep yourself comfortable and baby safe. When coming out of laying off our back, we never want to sit straight up. We want to roll to our side and then lift ourselves up, okay? This is true when you're getting up out of the bed and things like that, because we don't want to put any extra pressure on that core. So these are a lot of great basic core exercises that you can incorporate while you're pregnant. That's not only gonna help strengthen that core, but it's gonna help reduce diastasis recti or keep that gap from getting bigger.